A warm welcome back to Six Ashes for episode 31 with me, MrSealyp. (2:16 in the afternoon). The cultivating is done on fields 21 and 22. Second spread of fertiliser. I always go to say squirt. Squirt's liquid, but it's solid fertiliser. So we are still just clinging on by our fingernails to the last little bit of seeding time for soybean. So I'm gonna. That's what I said in the last episode. I'm gonna get it in the ground. We're gonna do soybean because that's pretty much all I can plant, other than grass. I think that's all I've got left I can put in the ground. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to get that in the ground now. No, not that one. That one. That tank seemed very low. Oh no. Bit dicey. I get a bit of bumpy ground. I'm going to catch that, aren't I? Don't know, I didn't notice that before. So now I'm looking towards what am I going to be doing. Fold that up. Once this is done. Contract work. There's a load of fertilising jobs available which I could get on with. There's no more harvesting jobs that have come up. Let's start that up, drop that down. Let's get soybean in. So I've got an idea, because of a new piece of equipment that's become available at the store. I had a phone call, and because they are aware of my my penchants, my things that I like to do, they gave me a bell. I won't give to... Oh, it's probably going to be given away already by the thumbnail if I decide to go down that route. I haven't actually finalised my decision yet. But you'll see, I know I'm doing what I always do, I'm being cryptic, and there's probably no point being cryptic. Now, I just want a huge thank you to Christopher, to Felix, and to Jack. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I realised that the last episode, depends when this posts, I'm going to say yesterday's because I'm assuming I'm going to post this on the following day, but that does all depend. I don't want people to worry unduly about me. I'm fine. It's just, you know, I know a lot of people saying all the whole, they said it, that word, the current situation hasn't affected them or bothered them in the slightest. And I'll be totally honest with you, when it all kind of kicked off, because I work from home anyway, nothing really changed much, I don't think, for me. But then it does come down to that, like I've spoken about before, that not being able to do certain things. Not that you were necessarily going to, but it was always, I know it's that ridiculous, you know, it's there as an option. If I want to, I can. But are you going to? Not really, then it doesn't matter. But it's that thing of when someone then says you can't do that, you feel a bit kind of stifled. I don't know whether it's just me, probably maybe it is. But as of yesterday, after doing the video, where I live, county I live in, just on the outskirts, well, it's actually not even by county, they're doing it by boroughs as well now, but London has gone up to tier 3 overnight. The borough I'm in has gone up to tier 3, so we're now kind of back in a lockdown-ish again, but supposedly a more severe one. It's all very odd. I get the feeling that they're blaming everything on alcohol without sort of saying it. I can't remember if it's Scotland or Wales announced a couple of weeks ago that they were banning it. You could go to restaurants and pubs and stuff like that for meals, but they weren't going to serve alcohol, because I think they're blaming the kind of current spread and the rate of it on the fact that people are going out and getting a bit sozzled and not following the rules. So where I am, and in London, as far as I can gather, and again it's so complicated, all the rules and regulations and the different tiers and the different ways different boroughs and councils and counties are doing it, that hospitality, so restaurants, bars and stuff like that, are all closing, but retail is staying open. So you have to say to yourself, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, if you're still allowed to go out and still shop and things, the only difference between the two that I can think of is alcohol. Is that the only thing that I can possibly think might be the cause for the gap between the two? I don't know. A lot of the schools in London are closing immediately, with immediate effect. They're like, well, that's it, you know, this is that serious now. With less than a week to go before they break up for the Christmas holidays, they've decided not to. So they're going to, that's it, bomb closed. Where I am, they're not closing them. We're in the same tier, but they're not. They're staying open till, I honestly don't get it. It's all very, very peculiar. Strange times indeed. Strange times indeed. So, I'm going to crack on. I missed a little bit just there. Don't know if I still got it or not. I like this one. It's a nice size and not too bad to transport around. It is quite long, so getting in and out of some of the tighter sort of gateways and stuff is a little bit trickier, but it's not too bad at all. I suppose the only downside to it is because it doesn't have its own seed tank, but then to get a seed tank on the front isn't too bad either. And hopefully this will all germinate and do its thing, but it may not be ready to harvest till late autumn, maybe even early winter, which is a bit dicey. So these ones I'm putting in field 21 and 22 now are going to be another one of those kind of maybe crops. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it doesn't hurt to try. Now, on the subject of crops and precision farming, I haven't been able to do any more testing. I know I talked about it a little bit yesterday, just again down to time constraints, and I would love nothing more than spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours just doing testing, just you know, because for me I find it very calming and therapeutic, and just don't have the time at the moment. But from comments received and messages received, and you know, thank you to everyone again for all the, you know, correspondence and like I say, messages. But what a lot of people are finding, and I can't remember if I mentioned this in the previous episode, that doing contract work is now a little bit up in the air. I did kind of touch on it briefly, didn't I? And I said about reducing your flow rates if you're doing fertilising jobs and that kind of stuff, because you'll still get paid. Well, apparently harvesting contracts are a real, it's a gamble, it's a lottery. I think, I'm just thinking now, actually I think I probably did, but I've had a few more comments saying the same thing, that people are picking up harvest contracts and just coming up way short, just nowhere enough crop on the ground. So the problem you've got is, unless everything's been done properly, and even then, depending on the soil type, you're going to have areas of a field that aren't going to yield maximum. And that's if you've done everything on it. If you just pick up a harvest contract on a random field across the map, and it's a field that's had nothing done to it at all, at least before you knew you'd complete the contract. It's just whether or not you'd have anything spare over the top, whether the yield was that good that you'd make anything over on top of it. The problem it seems to be now is that because of the fluctuations in yields, depending on the soil type, and then because nothing's been done to it to improve the pH or the nitrogen, it's not yielding anywhere near enough to complete the contract. So you've got this massive knock-on effect now, that even though map makers are going in and they're adjusting and putting in new soil maps, and we had a few pop up yesterday, we've got a situation now that even with that done, contracts aren't being amended or adjusted for yields because of that. And I suppose, what do you do? Because for everyone that runs precision farming and requires that amendment to be done, if they drop the amount of yield required to fulfill a contract, if you're running precision farming, that does mean that hopefully you would be able to fulfill the contracts. But then that also means, if that's done blanket, which it will have to be, it will just change in the coding, anyone that's not running precision farming will then should come up way above on yield and will have loads left over. So where do you I suppose it forces people to, kind of like I do a little bit, if I know I'm going to be looking towards doing harvest contracts further down the line, I will pick up as many of the other contracts as I can. So I will try to do the cultivating, ploughing if it's required. I'll try to do as many of the fertilising jobs as I can, looking forward to the harvest so I can make that yield as high as possible. I suppose it forces you under the contract system to then spend more time actually working other people's fields other than your own. So if you are going to pick up harvest contracts, it's in your best interest to make sure that field has had everything done to it. Now, I don't know if people are reporting that they have been doing everything to those fields and still coming up short. Again, that could be an entire series of tests all on its own, just looking at the contract changes. It's a worry, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know. I know that's not helping. I'm just kind of passing on a bit of information. I would love to be able to say I have an answer for you because I tested it, but I haven't. Right, nearly 3:10. Field 22 is done. I'm not going to get through the gateway like that, so what we'll do is unfold it. Drop it down, take it through. Right, I'm going to do the next field myself. Just trying to share information. It's always nice to be able to pass things on. Oh, what I am going to do as well, I think probably now's the good time to do that. I'm going to share the, I'm sure GB won't mind me sharing it, the soil map that he created. Well, not the soil map, but the information regarding yields for soil types. That he said, well, I mean, he said when the update goes through, it's going to be part of the screens for the. Is it for the Geo? It might be for the Geo. I think it might be for the Geo, maybe not the map. I'm not so sure. Could be for the map, whichever one that's being updated, and it will show you realistically what crops grow best in what ground types. And like I said before, that even if you do everything you can to a particular crop with a particular soil type and everything's showing in the green, it still won't necessarily yield up to 125%. So what I'll do is I'll put that, hang on, Let's just hook that up. No, get rid of that little menu at the bottom. I'll put it up on the screen now. Thought I'd give you a little bit of time just to have a look at it. You may well have paused the screen to have a look. I assume that's the sort of thing that every map maker is having to do. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, that's kind of in your head. Like I said in yesterday's episode, everything goes out the window. It doesn't matter what your perceived ideas are from before. And because we've gone so long, it is almost that muscle memory thing. It's so ingrained into your psyche that this is what we need to do. I need to get maximum fertilizer on here, but I know that when I've done X amount of passes, I'm going to have maximum. And when I click on my field info, it will say 100%, and it's like, well done, pat on the back, job done. That's not the case anymore. You add into that as well, people have been saying, like with seasons, the unpredictability of seasons, with the unpredictability, not unpredictability, it is predictable if you've got that information, but you then know that you're doing everything you possibly can for a crop. But with seasons on, weather and all that kind of stuff, and then coupling soil type, it's getting closer to real farming. It's a far more unpredictable state to be in, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm going to go now because I want to try and get onto the other thing I was going to do. Yeah, if I can. No, thank you. It's day 3, midsummer. The rain didn't come last night, typically. However, the temperatures aren't going to get too high today, and it's not showing rain for today either. Animals have all been fed. I have leased the piece of equipment that you've probably already seen, like I say. And I'm going to come in through the pig farm because I thought it'd be easier for turning and access. Now, what I've got here came as a kind of package deal. I am driving the WBM DIAMANT 2000. I've got a load of logs and lumber left sitting around up where I did all my wood chipping, and because technically there's nothing I can do today. I mean, I could start cutting my grass and leave it to start to turn to hay, but I'm going to leave that till tomorrow morning. I think I say tomorrow morning. I'm going to leave it till day 4, midsummer, because the weather's going to be warmer, it's going to be a bit sunnier, it's not going to be cloudy all day, and I think that'll be a better use of time. So in essence, I've got myself a free day. I do have a couple of other jobs. Jason at the biogas plant, who runs the biogas plant, has been in touch. We haven't really been up to the biogas plant, haven't really used it, but they're having a few problems because obviously they're providing biogas to companies and whoever wants it, but they've had a bit of a shortage. People aren't taking stuff to the biogas plant, where the crops aren't going as well as people had hoped, or I really don't know why. But has asked if we could help out with anything. Could we possibly take something up? Now we have got a ton of silage bales. and I've got that silage in the silage clamp, which we could absolutely use. Now I'm thinking of taking the bales up again, take a load of bales, free up some more bale space ready for when we do a hay baling. I don't want to take too many, but then we have got a load of silage loose on hand, which should work out pretty well. I don't see why that wouldn't be an option. Now I could set this up to wood chip directly into the storage points. What I think I'm going to do, because the whole point is this is a self-propelled wood chipping apparatus. Now I know I've done a load of wood chipping before. I wanted to use this bit of kit. I know we've got a kind of day spare. Now the thing about this is, one, it looks incredible. I saw one of these, well, one like this. I don't think it was exactly this one, at Agritechnica, and listen, they're amazing pieces of machinery. They weigh a huge amount, but the fact you can just pull up and get on with it. Now what I've also done, it does have a trailer hitch on the back, so part of this kind of package deal, so to speak, I got a Flegel dolly. I like these ones because of the hitch and the flexibility of it, and we got a cramped trailer. I think that's the 59,000 litre one. So what I'll do is set this up to go directly into the trailer, and then I can actually move it around where the piles are rather than bring the piles to me. Now it does have a crane and I can use that crane to load it on one log at a time, but I think that's quite a short belt. My crane work has never ever been the best, but I'll give it a go. At the end of the day, you know, why not? I'll try. If not, I'll then bring the telehandler over, we'll grab the log fork again, and we'll just start putting stuff on like that. But I wanted to give it a try, so what we'll do is find our first pile of logs, work out how we're going to set this up. This might be a little bit bumpy actually, but I don't know, we'll see. Say a little bit bumpy, blimey. So if I stick the trailer about, is that going to be too close? Potentially. Let's stick the trailer there. Open the cover, and then we'll disconnect that. I'm pretty sure this weighs something like 32 tons or something like that. So what we'll do is try and get into position. Let's put the pipe out, which should go to there. Nice. It might come. Oh yeah, that's. Why is that so far? Let's go like that a little bit, maybe. That might work. Right. So what we'll do now is unfold. So unfolding all of this should raise the cab, put the support legs out, open the belt, and get the crane out. Now, like I say, from in cab, we've got that view, which isn't too bad. We've got that view, which I think I might prefer. What we'll do is turn on the wood crusher, pipe is out. Let's go to crane. Nope, that's support legs. That's the one we want. Let's extend that. I'd like to say, I don't know, we'll see how we get on with this. It might be an absolute disaster. And if it is, it would be no surprise really. What you need is one of those little green dots, like a little laser dot, so you can see, because with no peripheral vision it's quite hard to get an idea where we are. Come on, grab a log. I'm not sure that's even grabbed it, has it? Nope, that's not going to work, is it? It may end up being that we do it more with the telehandler. Let's try that again. It's the only problem with these cranes, they're just a little bit rubbish sometimes. Let's set it up, swing it around. that in. I say, doing it like this, one log at a time, is going to take forever. And a skilled crane operator will be doing this no problem at all. I am not skilled. Sorry. The physics of these cranes is not great. It never has been. Right, let's try and get a proper grab on this. No, it just doesn't seem to want to grab the logs. There we go. Come on, try again. Right, I need to bring that. It's going to drop it, isn't it? Does not want to go into there. Oh man, I thought this was going to be so much better than it is. I just wanted it to be. Right, what is that? Can't get the crane to go up, bring it in a bit. That's better. That should be better. Right, let's loosen the grip on that a little bit. Are we getting wood chips going in there, or is it just blowing them all over the place? No, we are getting wood chips going in. And it is doing a little bit at a time. It's weird, isn't it? It just doesn't seem to... Okay, right, well. I'd say I may end up just putting these on with the telehandler. It seems a little bit easier, if you ask me, but then like I say, it's just me not being a particularly wondrous operator. Let's swing that round, open it up, drop that down, so we get another one. So we go a bit better this time. Just not want to. Come on. With it? Maybe. Centre of gravity's off completely. Spin around a bit. Do that. Yeah, awful. Centre of gravity's all wrong. Conveyor belt's pulling it, but I apologise for you having to watch this. This is. I really thought, is it just me? Well, obviously you can't tell because you're not doing it, but crane controls seem all over the shop, not what I'm used to. It's like one of them's inverted. It's very strange. Why is that not? It just does not want to pick this up properly. Nope, just slipping through. Right, you know what? Crane physics. Awful! Now I know there'll be loads of you out there who will say, oh, I don't have any problem with cranes at all. They're easy peasy. I mean, maybe from this angle, would that be better? I don't know, probably not. Probably not. Oh, blimey, I know it's going to annoy someone, just suddenly realised. Time. Maybe this angle will be better. Nope. Come on, grab the log, will you please? A bit better, maybe. Spin it round that way. Now bring it in. Bring it in, swing it. Bring it in. And I can crane up. That's a bit better. Oh, bit of a diamond geezer. Yes. Oh dear. Those dad jokes. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not raving about the crane, the camera angles. It's quite a narrow piece of kit, and I think the issue there, I'm probably in a terrible position on it. Let's back up a little bit. Maybe we'll get better onto the poles and logs. I won't put you through many more of these, sorry. I'll probably switch out in a second. What am I going to do? 2? No. Cranes have never been good at 2, have they? This can't seem to make up its mind what it's doing, whether it's picking them up. It hasn't got straps, has it? No, of course it hasn't. That'd be too much to ask for. This is a nightmare! I'm going to get the telehandler, hang on. I've got the telehandler. I've got the big bag handler. Now the big bag handler, yes, this isn't the way you should be loading it, this isn't, but it does work. You can do it this way, a single log at a time. I thought I'd try it this way. I did put one in and it kind of stopped like that. So what I'm going to do is put that one through, lift it up a little bit, start feeding that, and as that goes, I'll just release the straps when we get to a point where it's okay, like so. And all seems to be going well in the world. That's not too bad. I've got my log fork over there, which I can go and grab and then... Pardon the pun. But this does work this way. It's not the fastest, and I know the other wood chipper I was using, the BSM one, this is whiteboard modding, the other one's black sheep modding. Because it sits on the floor, it's got a much wider base to it. Let's just get one. I've got 2. Okay. Doesn't always like picking up more than one at a time, so this could be a bit naughty. Sometimes they start to go a little bit wobbly. Like that. We are not friends. We should not be tied together like this. But as I said, it will work. Whether it should work, that's a whole different ball game. Right, so the straps. Took that one off me. And I'll take that one in. Yeah, so what do I think of the Diamant as a machine? It's a very cool machine. I like the fact it's mobile. I mean, all the wood chippers are mobile, but self-propelled, I guess. And if you're a skilled crane operator, then you don't need a telehandler as well. You can come up next to a pile of logs and away you go. That's fantastic. I think the smaller logs, if these are 6s, I think these are 6s. If they were maybe 3s or 4s, and they would sit on that belt a little bit easier, it doesn't seem to be having too much trouble taking them, then that would probably be a little simpler, I guess. But I've got all these logs to clear. I was just going to sell them as lumber, and then thought, well, I'll store the wood chips, because as we know, the wood chips are worth their weight in gold in winter. If I've got a spare day, rather than just whizzing through the day and wasting the time, I might as well use the time, say wisely, fairly wisely. And like I say, for anyone watching, they'll be furious about how I'm doing this with regard to using the big bag handler. That's not obviously how people want to see things done. But what I probably will do is I'm going to grab the log fork as well. I'm going to try the log fork because it should work with both. Yeah, it's not really liking that, is it? So I think it's just the angle it's at. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's got a bit of a wobble on. It's having a bit of a wobble. For some reason, that one doesn't. All the others have gone fine. Maybe it's just the angle I'm at. I thought the other belt's supposed to push the logs down into the feeder, but again, How much of that is me? How much of that is the mod? How much, you know, I would say most of it's me. Let's see if I can push it down there. Come on. Feet now. Seriously, come on. You know you want to. Right. Swing that way. Just give it a little bit of a nudge across. And this is the thing, when you get to a point where it gets really finicky and fiddly, you then start thinking there are quicker ways and easier ways, and would this be, but it just, with any new piece of machinery, anything, you know, it's finding those quirks, those little idiosyncrasies, the things that make it work well, the things that might be a potential problem, and then trying to work out ways to eradicate any of those problems. This works really well. It's a good bit of machinery. It's, you know, I like the design of it. Can I pick it up and throw that in? There we go. As for how much we've got in the actual lorry, let's have a look. That's not too bad. We are filling up. And then I'll just put it into storage, and then it's there for winter, ready for hopefully another big selling session over winter, and maybe we'll get enough money to buy the other dairy farm, and then we can move into dairy as well. That's what I'm aiming for. I mean, how far will this Let's Play go? I am considering seriously, when the update goes live from our landowner GB, of doing some precision farming. I am seriously considering doing some precision farming, but I don't know. Did I leave the log fork over here, or did I get rid of it? Please tell me I didn't get rid of it. Oh, there it is. Cool. This will mean putting things on sideways, though. I mean, that's the beauty of using the big bag handler, is you can put them on lengthways and it should work easier. But I'm using that word should. Cruise control on. Oh, I'm fairly low on fuel. Need to get some more fuel. And is it easier moving 3 or 4 logs at a time over to a wood chipper that's sat at the storage? Yeah, probably. But again, I wanted to use something different. That's really what it comes down to. You know, there are different options of how to do logging and wood chipping, that kind of thing, and it is very easy with a lot of the things we do in game to fall back on using the same equipment all the time, because it's what we know, it's what we're comfortable with, it's what we're happy with. And you know, with a bit more, and I've always said it, with more and more practice, and I have got at points quite proficient with the crane. I don't know what it was with this one. My mind was kind of a little bit, hang on a minute, it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, that didn't work. I need to cradle it really, rather than drop it on, I think. Let's do that in a way. Let's do that. I need to get to a point where the belt will take it. No. Where's that bottom claw? Every time I try and... I don't want to move that bottom claw. There we go. That's better. So I just cradle it enough that the belt takes it. Okay. That works a bit better. So maybe it's more of a cradling effect. Treat it like an infant rather than a log. That's all I can think of. Come on. I don't want to grab more than one really. I know that one's going to drop off. There we go. This one should be a bit better because it's shorter, so it should sit on there. Yeah, but obviously doing one log at a time, it's fairly slow. Right, let's try that again. get it to a good position. Like that. Come on. You know you want to. And for me personally, if I was doing this off camera, like I've said so many times with so many different jobs, it really doesn't bother me how long it takes. I kind of get... I do find a lot of these things incredibly therapeutic. It's just kind of relaxing. It's not... I know sometimes I come across it's all a bit bull in the china shop and trying to get everything done as quickly as possible. And some jobs you do want to try and do it fairly quickly. Got to drop into there. There we go. Other times you don't. I don't know. Depends how you're feeling at any given time, I suppose. Or what I could do as well, if I move the crane arm out of the way, I could come at this from both sides too. Right, so I can get the belt to take this. If I can just line that fork up. Ooh, nicely, like so. Just drop that down enough that it will take it on the belt. I'm, like I said, just cradling it, like, come on, you know you want to. No, it doesn't. Oh, come on. Again. Oh, so that what it took? I don't know. I don't know which method I prefer more, whether I prefer using the bag handler with the straps. Or using that. Could I get more than two on at a time? Okay, can I? Does it need a nudge? Or is it's going to take it? It's going to take it. We're good. Yeah. So I'm probably going to spend a bit of time doing this, I suppose. Clearing these all up. I'm just going to check on a couple of things. Contracts. We've got loads of baling, fertilising. And then we come off of there. We're going to check the weather. Yeah, we're good all the way through. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're just not showing any rain. That's good. Animals. We're still 146 pigs. They are putting on a lot of weight. Some of them are. Anyway, the new births, newborns aren't as yet. But we're going to wait a while, probably through till winter, to start selling our fattened up pigs, and then we'll carry on rolling through. Sheep haven't got any more, and we were at 255 for those, so they haven't started reproducing yet. But they will do. But we are getting eggs, which is great. And our cows, again, they are putting on weight, which is great. The red bar there for hay silage and hay pellets. We've got the total mixed rationing. Production is going fine. Cleanliness is okay. That's just where I get this spill. So when you get the overspill come out in the feed trough, that is silage. I'm just tipping it straight back into the feed trough rather than going and putting it somewhere. So that's why that little bit of build up there is just a bit of silage. So yeah, my animals are all putting on weight. We're doing all right, I think. I think I need to be more at one end. I know that kind of goes against where you want to be, but this is quite a long log fork. I might switch backwards and forwards between the two options and try, you know. I'm just going to do both. How many have I got there? 3? Okay, this is going to be a bit of a gamble. But it's worth a try, I suppose. Log fork seems to be holding them very well. So how do I want to come at this? A little bit higher, definitely, because I'm at an angle. That's the only trouble with the weight being off that side. Just drop that to took the ends off that one. I'll get some. That trailer's nearly full, isn't it? It's not possible that the wood chipper can give you more wood than, or more wood chips than you have got wood. But what I don't get is when I was putting it through the other wood chipper, it was taking a huge amount of logs to get any sort of meaningful amount of wood chips. This thing seems to be, I know it sounds ridiculous, producing a lot of wood chips. I don't know why that would be the case. Shouldn't be, should it? Go on. You know, you want to. There we go. I'm assuming, like most other wood chippers, this will then hold 5,000 litres in storage. Potentially that log's going to fall off there, isn't it? So they both stopped now, have they? Oh, of course they. Wait till you step forward, then go, no, not quite done yet. So. There we go, that's better. Let's grab that bit. Another way of doing it, of course, is to, which, the way this is going would probably be quicker, is to, when you're cutting your lumber in the first place, rather than cutting 6 metre lengths, do them at 1s or 2s, and then just hand feed it, just throw the logs in. Just stand there with a massive pile, bomb, 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 just chuck them all in. I mean, that would work. Not the ideal way. I could spend ages now with a chainsaw chopping all these up, but what's the point? Either way around, it's going to take a bit of time, I suppose. Right, I suppose what I need to do now is check and see. The problem I've got now is I've then got to fold everything up to take that trailer over to unload it, which again makes the whole one-person operation. It is feasible, but then you're constantly folding up, packing up, moving, folding. Whereas I suppose you'd have another vehicle that would be coming backwards and forwards and swapping trailers over for you, so you could continue. It was an experiment, if nothing else. It was to have a look. Sorry if I seem a bit distracted. I'm just kind of mentally thinking of different ways of improving it. How can I do this better is kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know if that trailer is full, you know. And as easy as that, just like that, 59,000 litres, and that's only half of one of those piles. I'll take that, no problem at all. So I'm going to take that over, but I'll unload that. Would it be better if I had just this and not the trailer and use one of my own trailers with a tractor? Maybe. Possibly. It's a good looking piece of machinery. I know I keep saying that, but again, it comes down to that, like I said so many times before. I know I'm boring people by saying it, but having something different in game. I know at the end of the day, it's a wood chipper. It wood chips like all the other wood chippers have done. But it's different. Let's tip that in. Quite unloads a lot quicker than it fills up, doesn't it? But that's just me. I think I'm going to set up a little bit further over this time, so I've got a bit more room to manoeuvre the telehandler. I have switched back to using the big bag handler. Again, that was just a... just thought it might be a little bit quicker. It's not to say it is, but it appeared to be, at least to me anyway. Disconnect that. And I'm going to go again. And keep going for it. I wonder if I can do it from the end. That might be a better way of doing it, mightn't it? If I do it from about here, let's do the pipe out and see where the pipe winds up. If the pipe likes it there, like that, some fault here. Switch to 1, get the crane out of the way. And like I said earlier, again probably poorly, there's nothing wrong with the crane. The physics of cranes in game aren't brilliant, and if you're good with one of those, it'll work absolutely perfectly. I'm just like saying, I'm just not particularly, so it just makes more sense. Oh, here's a good idea. Here's a cracking idea. Lights on this are pretty good as well. Got that section there, all light up around the cab too. I think we've got one on the top of the, yeah, on the pipe as well. Right, turn on the wood crusher. Oh. There we go. Now we're rocking and rolling again. Now, am I going to clear all these poles logs today? Maybe. Something I'm going to have to come back to, at least I know that. And like I said, this isn't realistic doing them like this with the... I must say it's not. There are... Oh no, I just realised that great big holes there. I was so busy looking at the actual wood chipper. Yeah, I mean there are plenty of grabs and crane attachments and things that do have a back plate and are designed for logs to push up against them, and having the straps, I just guess I'm not hooking that up particularly well. But what about if and I've got the things down, if I swing around a little bit to about there. That might be better. Should have really lifted up the support legs. That's better, isn't it? I'm not actually in the hole now. Come on logs, behave yourselves. That one's already started to go in. That one can't quite make its mind up. There we go. Now these smaller ones, the end ones are always a little bit, some wood chippers take them and you get a few wood chips, some, because these are the ends, often they just get trimmed off and you don't get anything from them anyway, but sometimes you do. I'm going to throw it, yeah, see what I mean, it just disappeared. Give that one a bit of a shove. There we go. I need to lift that one and bring it into the belt a bit. There we go. Well, like I said earlier, I know it's wood chipping again, but this has got to be cleared, and it's all part of what I'm doing. Like I said yesterday, you know, this is what I'm up to at the moment, this is what I'm recording at the moment, because this is what I'm doing. I don't want to get, you know, into winter, come over here to do some more, or to start cutting down the poplars, and everyone suddenly go, wait a minute, where'd all those piles of wood go, and how all of a sudden have you got, you know, so much wood chip on hand, no one saw you doing it. So I you know, I would rather show it, even if it is frustrating and difficult to watch. Not getting any wood chips for most of that. Never mind. I think that's all the ones I'm going to be able to pick up. A couple of bits around here maybe. Have a go, look. So I wonder if I stand it up like that, would it knock it down? It should do, because that belt is supposed to do that. Ah, there we go. Job done. Right, I will see you on the next one for possibly, I think I'm going to have to mow everything, aren't I, with my new triple mowers. Go around and mow everything ready for doing hay. I think that's where we're going to be at, and start then looking towards harvest coming round, which it will do once we get out of summer. Hopefully we should get some more harvest work to do. whether it's our own or whether it's someone else's. Again, we will see, and then we're going to have to look at moving much further on. We're still fattening up all the animals. Pigs, we should be getting to a point as we move in towards winter, but that's a long way off. We're only just in summer at the moment. Let's get through autumn and stuff first. See what other crazy bits of machinery we can find to have a bit of a play around. Oh, I've got a bit of wood off the end of it. Yeah, have a bit of a play with. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.